Alright. We got the next story quest, The Company We Keep, given to us by Alice in the Rising Stones. And the picture, the little rectangular, like the wide rectangular picture, is of Alphino's face, and he's sad. But we'll see what's up. Here we go. Cutscene. Let me remove my headshot, which I didn't do last video. Ah, Mercy, you're looking well. I take it you managed to squeeze in some rest. If you came hoping for tidings from Kryl, I'm afraid we're still waiting, but we do have some odd scraps of news to share. Scraps, she says. Lunar primals have been popping up all over the place, but the Alliance has the situation well in hand, thanks in no small part to Hori, Boulder, and the others. Meanwhile, talks with the Beast Tribes are going even better than expected. Encouraged by Ulda's progress with the Amalja, Bridania has opened negotiations with the Ixal, believe it or not. Hey, those were the Beastmen that I mentioned the last time, where it was like, hey, we're going to have alliance. It's cool. I thought it might be the Ixali, but I think Ixal was one of the two I said. And then... Oh, Sahagin? Did she say Sahagin? I missed that part. I was so enamored with myself for saying... Anyway. All of which is obviously very encouraging, but with the Telophoroi still out there, it's not as if we can afford to lower our guard. As she says more things to me, the cutscene pans up, we got a black screen, and we have the Scions all here, Alphino included, and the newly Scion-y Estinian. Everyone's talking to each other. Thoughts being expressed all around. Begging your pardon, but I come bearing an invitation from the Alliance, says a Resistance Herald. A council meeting is due to be held in Alamigo, and your attendance is humbly requested. Ah, we were just talking about the Alliance. May I ask what's going on the agenda? May I ask what's on the agenda? I believe the intention is to share news of recent developments and discuss what measures might be taken to combat the Telophoroi. I got it right, actually, kind of, sort of. In concert with our new allies, the Beast Tribes have also been invited. There's hope that they will join us in the fight against our common foe. So the Alliance will bring all the Beast Tribes into the fold at a single stroke. An ambitious plan, given the delicacy of the negotiations, but mayhap an expedient one, considering the threat we face. Says Y'shtola. Indeed, my lady, and for their part I am told the Beast Tribes have agreed to attend. If the Scions, too, are present, all of Eorzea will be represented. Alphino looks to me, I nod. He nods back. To arrange such a meeting must have been quite an undertaking, not only diplomatically, but practically. Pray inform the Alliance that we would be honored to participate. We shall make for Alamigo without delay. Then I will bear your answer thither with all haste. We look forward to receiving you at the Royal Palace. Gives a fist to chest salute. And feet together, fist, chest, feet together. Well, now that we've accepted the invitation, who exactly is going to attend? Says Thancred. I move that you and Y'shtola lead our contingent. Given how long you have worked to end summoning, it is only right that you be present for what promises to be a historic moment. Thancred nods. I think we've all played our part in that little endeavor, don't you, Mercy? I nod. All present may rightly claim a seat, I do quite agree, but by your leave, I believe I shall remain here and lend what assistance I can to the coordination of our defensive efforts, says Urianger. I'm not coming either. Emmerich will be there, and I'd rather not be interrogated, says Estinian. Very well then, while those with a mind to hold the fort get on with holding it, I suggest the rest of us make for Alamigo, shall we? Nods all around for the rest of us. Urianger, Tataru, and Estinian remain behind. I'm not instantly teleported, which I take as an affront to my character. No. Do I want to... I do want to teleport. Do I want to spend a token for 571 gil? I don't think I do. I think I've said like 700 and above. Alright, and we've arrived at the Alamigan quarter. I cannot fly here, so I have to wind my way through the alleys. I don't have to. I could probably go around, like, that way. But whatever. It's already done. Take the shortcuts, yo. Talk to the Resistance Guard that I've talked to so many times before in previous expansion. We've been expecting you. While some few guests have yet to arrive, the Alliance leaders are all present. Shall I show you in? Oops. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to give my feedback to my new school. We're all sitting around a table. A long table. Ian is here as well. Emmerich. Please talk so I don't have to. The Amalja. Oh, it's not the Sahagin. Kobold, Amalja, and the Snake Lady race? But they're already our allies. Oh, hey. Fairy. Fuck. I don't recognize. I recognize them. I don't remember what they're called. There's the... That's the Exol.
Esteemed guests, you honor us with your presence. As there is much to discuss, let us begin.
Oops.
Information on our taken brethren you have, yes? Hear it we would!
Exali. They're the Owlkin guys.
Ah! Beyond forgiveness these featherless ones are! With rivers of blood shall they pay. Freed our people must be!
The Exali chieftain seems to be the most outspoken today, at least so far.
We too would see your kin liberated. But ere we attempt their rescue, we must first find a means to negate the risk of tempering. Without that, we will be unable even to approach the towers, let alone contend with their defenders.
If all else fails, I've always found cannonballs quite effective.
And what of the prisoners? Would you see them slaughtered?
So that was this. Okay, I forgot that the Sahagin priest had that giant, like, crab clam thing on his head.
Think for a moment. Ponder, consider, think. If Merlwyb truly intended to bombard the towers, she would have done so by now. Remember, we came here to find a solution together, did we not?
Y'Stola spoke of defenders. I but offered a means to clear a path, should you require it.
Given the enemy's capabilities, we will all need to play our part if we are to have any chance of success. For if any here should give less than their best, it will be to the cost of every living being on this star.
A paragon, the Empire, our very gods. How can we hope to prevail against such odds?
That our foe is formidable, none would deny. But our strengths are many and varied.
Emmerich.
In this chamber, I see masters of strategy, masters of magic, masters of the land, the air, and the sea. And together, there is nothing in creation we cannot overcome.
I don't see Sid, so who's the master of the air? The Exali? The Owlkin guy? Whatever they're called in this game, I can't remember.
I beg your pardon?
The Sahagin gave a cry of some kind for some reason.
What is it, Soulwalker? Do not express your passion thus. A little pretty will have gills, perhaps. Suffice it to say, I am proud to be counted amongst Eorzea's finest. We Sahagin will play our part.
The first line of that was a little tricky without gills, perhaps. So if that... I couldn't understand it with my eyes closed, and I'm trying to...
We kobolds have not forgotten the crimes the Overdwellers committed against us in the past. But today we look to the future, as allies united in purpose.
there seems to be assent from the others as well.
Ah! Make mock of the Ixal, the Paragon does! Turns kin into puppets, pits brother against brother. Free them from his grasp, we shall!
As Patriarch Zadar will attest, the Scions have granted us a means to free your brethren from their thraldom. This boon we will gladly share, that your people might never be enslaved again.
We accept! We accept!
Praise be!
And then there's discussion amongst the Beastmen, amongst the Scions, the leaders of the Alliance. Everybody's getting along.
It's taken a while, but I do believe we might be one step closer to a world without primals. Would that Minfilia were here to see it.
We still have a long way to go, and we're going to need a lot more Porksies. But we're moving in the right direction.
Stupid.
If I may have your attention, there is one other point I would like to raise. As we can all agree, freeing those held captive must take precedence over every other concern.
Sorry.
But experience has taught us that none save those with the capacity to resist tempering can hope to enter the towers unscathed. And even once inside, a still greater threat may yet await them, that which we call a primal. Needless to say, if we are to succeed, engaging with such foes can only ever be considered a last resort. And so I move that we seek to prevent them from being summoned in the first place.
Yes! Both prayer and ether are needed for the ritual. Should either one be denied, the summoning would fail.
Indeed. And so we must endeavor to discover the source of the ether on which the process depends. Do so, and it may present a way to halt the summonings, or perhaps even neutralize the towers entirely.
A promising proposal. While you are conducting your investigations, however, we will need to remain vigilant, lest the Telophoroi commit further abductions and summon primals ere we have the means to prevent them. To stand a better chance of keeping our enemy at bay, we would do well to coordinate our defensive efforts, sending reinforcements to assist our neighbors when needed.
We Amalja would have been overwhelmed were it not for our newfound allies. But say the word, and we shall come.
I see we are all in accord.
I think there were three. The three beast tribes we didn't really hear from at all were the giant owl kin, the owl men, owl people. The snake women, the snake ladies, who were already kind of our allies, at least some of them. Where in the expansion where Lise became like the leader of that land, she like returned to her homeland and blah blah. And then the little like spike legs with the hat visor, I don't remember what they are. I think that they worshipped, or like some of their people worshipped and summoned that, was it four-armed, blade-wielding, like badass looking freaking carapace guy, but I can't remember what they're called.
But what are we to call this proud fellowship of ours? I submit that the honor of naming it should go to the scion whose brave efforts have done so much to unite Eorzea. What say you, my friend?
What, Alphino? Not me, right? No, thank you. Oh, but I think on it. I would call it the Grand Company of Eorzea, or I would call it. One moment, please. I'm gonna go with that one just to see what happens. I would call it... one moment, please.
Might I suggest the Grand Company of Eorzea? I remember a certain someone pondering it once upon a time, and it seems as fitting a name as any.
Thank you, I don't want credit for it.
A fine choice, for there is none here who does not love Eorzea.
Aye, in that we shall ever be united.
United in our gratitude for the realm that gave us life.
Then let it be recorded that on this day, the Grand Company of Eorzea was born.
Oh, the fairy didn't speak either. Are they the Fae folk? They look like fairies, you know. They are the flying, small, possibly tiny even. They were the bad ones summoned Ramu. This is why Alphino was tearing up a bit. All right. He does so now. Closes his eyes. Alisane notices. Punch him in the shoulder. Knock him out of it. He looks resolved.
How long have we dreamed of this moment? And now that it's here, Oh, forgive me. Might we speak outside?
But of course, young Padawan. It's probably gonna be another cutscene like right away, so I'm not gonna put my head. There we go. Yeah, no headshot back yet. To cover up free company chat. Well, now that we are out of earshot of the other delegates, I hope you will forgive me if I speak my mind. Let me begin by saying that I have dreamed of this day since the moment I first set foot upon these shores, and that I was as heartened as anyone to see the peoples of Eorzea pledge their solidarity. Yet even as they uttered their declarations, all I can think about was the conflict to come, of the sacrifices that would be made and the lives lost, inevitabilities that I struggle to accept. But at least now there is hope. The formation of the Grand Company of Eorzea is the first step, the first of many. Many and more, says somebody. Kane Senna, with her spear-wielding guard. Elder Seatsia, how might we be of service? Says Thancred. I seek Master Alphino's assistance in a matter involving Gridonia's neighbors, the Sylphs. The Sylphs, that's what they're called. I know that you and yours have long kept a weather eye upon the crystal trade, the better to predict the coming of primals, and so you will be familiar with the Sylphs of the Ash Crown Consortium. Through their dealings, they have cultivated relations not only with the city-states, but many other communities besides. I don't know why I'm jumping ahead. Let's just fucking read it, dummy. Communities such as the Beast Tribes. She nods. Just so, it is our hope that we may make use of the Sylphs' established lines of communication to coordinate the efforts of our new fellowship. Yet there remain certain practical differences between a trade consortium and a grand company. If the Sylphs are to perform their task effectively, they will require the counsel of one versed in the operational aspects of an armed force. An armed force founded with the self-same goal in mind, no less, says Thancred. Everybody looks to him for some reason. The Crystal Braves, yes. Forgive me, Master Alphino. I know that it was a painful chapter in your life, but the experience may yet be made to serve the realm. In my hubris, I plotted a course for the Crystal Braves which stretched far beyond the Order's initial conception. One intended to pave the way for the founding of what I intended to call the Grand Company of Eorzea. But my plans all came to naught. Built upon a frail foundation of lofty ideals, the Order was doomed from the first to collapse under the weight of more worldly interests, and I have no wish to see this new endeavor suffer the same fate. Mayhap I ask too much of you? Not at all. You may count upon my assistance for what little it is worth. By your leave, I shall prepare a report, including a list of recommendations drawing on the lessons I learned from the failures of the Crystal Braves. You have my gratitude, Master Alphino, and my trust. When your report is ready, pray share it directly with the Sylphs. With your guidance and the earnest efforts of every goodly soul gathered here this day, I have no doubt but that our fellowship shall emerge from the shadow of the Telophoroi and flourish. Until next we meet, my friends. She gives a little kind of bow curtsy thing. And the spear-wielding soldier does this weird salute where both arms come in front of his face, basically like neck level, forming a rectangle with his torso, and he nods into it. Before committing anything to writing, there are a number of people whose thoughts I should like to hear. Former braves, you understand? Might you join me in seeking them out? Oh, please tell me we're gonna see Eye Patch Guy. I love that guy. He's so cool. As if you have to ask. And the other option is, I can't think of an excuse not to, so yes, I like the first one. As if you have to ask. Thank you. As someone who witnessed the Order's rise and fall, yours would be a reassuring presence. I'll join you. If you're planning to canvass the opinions of your former comrades, it'll be a lot quicker if we share the task of questioning them. Then mayhap Graha can lend a hand as well. I shall accompany Thancred back to the Rising Stones. Between us, I dare say we should be able to provide an accurate enough account of the day's events, says Y'shtola. Graha pats his chest a couple times, like, sure, bud. We should be glad of your company, Graha. I shall explain the details on the way. Thancred and Y'shtola give a nod and a wave. Not respectively, it was the other way around. And they walk off. Talk to Alisei to finish. Well, it's not finished. So, what's the plan, brother of mine? Before discussing the task at hand, I should probably admit that the report I proposed is largely written. Not long after that fateful day in Ul'dah, I penned a detailed account of the organization's history, from the events that led to its inception to the failings that brought about its demise. This I did primarily as a means of taking some semblance of responsibility. Never did I imagine that it might later be referred to by those seeking to form a similar organization. And while I made every attempt to be objective, the account was mine alone. Its events flowed from my singular perspective. For it to be of use, however, it must be broadened to encompass the viewpoints of all involved. Only then can it answer what seems to be the crucial question, namely, why? Or why, after the Crystal Braves disbanded, did some members choose to remain with us while others did not? I see. You think the answer will tell us something about the nature of the ties that bind our new grand company together? And that this knowledge might help us to prevent it from falling apart when those bonds are inevitably tested. He nods. That is my hope, yes, but the questions I would ask are uncomfortable to some. As the former commander of the Crystal Braves, I doubt that those who abandoned the cause would welcome my inquiries. Then Graha and I will just have to try. Meanwhile, the two of you can talk to the ones who kept the faith. A fine suggestion. Have care, however. Certain of my former comrades are of questionable character, so keep your wits about you, and let us reconvene in Gridania later on. This is going to be one of them long videos. If you have no objections, I have a mind to begin by speaking with Riol, my favorite, and Alian. If memory serves, the two of them will be attending an intelligence briefing at Castrum Oriens. Let us seek them out there. I forgot his name, but Pirate Riol is a badass. He's a good kid. 257 to teleport to Castrum Oriens? Yes, please. Where am I? No. Opposite. The fringes of Girabania. Hey, Riol. And Alphino. I don't remember mounting up, but suddenly I was mounted. That was a weird way to put that. Cutscene. I don't think they'll be talking, but we'll find out in a second. Nope. Well, look who it is, and what brings you two here. Wouldn't have anything to do with the big meeting, would it? In a manner of speaking, I've been assigned a task, you see, for which I require the assistance of former members of the Crystal Braves. And he goes to explain. Aliana, the Elizan, black-haired female mage, is with him. So you want to know why we decided to stick with the Scions, eh? Ain't an easy thing to put into words, that. He looks to Aliana. She nods to him. As Riol will attest, I spent a long time agonizing over my failure to alert you to the traitors in our midst. Elian, sorry. For my negligence, I was captured along with many others, and we were powerless to prevent the tragedies that ensued. Not a day goes by that I do not think back to those fateful events. By joining the Scions, I hope to redeem myself, and I will continue to serve the cause for as long as I am able. But that wasn't my only reason. When we were finally reunited at the Rising Stones, you refused to blame anyone but yourself for the fall of the Crystal Braves, and in spite of everything that had happened, everything you had suffered, you took us back without a moment's hesitation. We would not have blamed you had you turned us away, but when you gave us your trust instead, what else could we do but try to repay it? Riel nods. Nothing, that's what. As for me own tale, I've always felt the Scions have something in common with me old crew. The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. That was our creed, and I still strive to live by it to this day. But as time's gone on, I've learned that strength comes in many shapes and sizes. From Hoary Boulder to Mistress Tataru, we've all of us got something to offer. And not one of us is doing it for personal gain, because we believe there's more important things than that, things worth protecting, which is what being a Scion's all about. I am at a loss for words. Thank you, my friends. To hear this from you means more than you know. Forgive me, Mercy, could you? And I nod. Give us your thoughts on the Crystal Braves, or why do you think the Crystal Braves ended in failure? Give us your thoughts on the Crystal Braves. Please, I should say. Well, its founding ideals were something to be proud of, but ideals alone don't make a crew. For every swab who signed up with good intentions, there was another who was only in it for the coin, the glory, or both. Ours was quite a disparate band, and while I will never forgive Ilbed, the fact that we managed to function at all was thanks in large part to his efforts. Just a pity he was doing it for all the wrong reasons, eh? Only takes one bad apple, they say, and the Braves had a barrel full of them. Not like the Scions, we might look like a ragtag bunch of misfits, but deep down, we've all got that shared sense of purpose. And why? Because Tataru sifted out the glory hunters before they made it through the door. I see. So while our ranks comprise a diverse range of people, each with their own individual strengths, we are all united in purpose. Thank you, my friends. With your permission, I shall make a record of our discussion and refer to it when drafting my recommendations. Until we meet again. Riel and Alian nod. The company we keep is actually complete now. I thought it would be longer. There will be a link in the description of this video that will send you to my Google Doc PowerPoint where every slide is an item on Amazon that I recommend because I use them for realsies, and they're great. If you purchase any of those items with a link on that slide, I will get a small cut of it. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to be making another one for sure, and I'll see you later.